Good morning and welcome to Tones and the Biz. My name is Tones.
And my name is Biz. Good morning to you guys out there. How's it going?
Oh man, another week, episode 6.
Are we on episode 6? Wow, this is good.
Consistency.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm really proud of us.
Is the key.
So we're going to go straight into it. We're going to talk about, if you didn't already know, the first segment of the day.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw it.
What's
Unreal
this?
Engine 5's announcement.
Oh yeah, I took a little peek at that.
And they used the PlayStation 5.
They did.
Now, if this wasn't a big middle finger to Xbox and the Xbox Inside stuff, that was
sorry,
crazy.
Whobox?
Yeah, exactly.
Whobox? I don't know. What is this mythical name you speak of?
It's kind of interesting because they've got to that point now where they're saying, you know, Xbox had that. Inside Xbox a couple of days ago had a big issue where they were saying that it was going to be gameplay for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm sure everyone's heard of this.
Oh yes.
And so basically they turned around and it wasn't at all. There was very little gameplay, or at least it was in engine or something like that.
It was in engine. I mean, considering the fact, because I watched this thing, and considering the fact that they had the text on the bottom of the screen saying, "Stay tuned for Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay."
Yeah, they bigged
live.
it up.
They really bigged it up.
Yeah.
You know, more than a few times.
And it
I
was
waited.
an issue. And you had those people sitting there going, yeah, we're really excited. And it kept coming up at the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
And it was a real problem.
It was a big
people
issue.
Kicked off. Young Ye was on there. He got real mad.
Young Ye, yeah.
Angry Joe
Didn't
got
waste
real
any time.
mad. A lot of the YouTubers, a lot of the game people in the industry really got kind of disappointed in Xbox, and they should know better.
You can't blame him. I mean, what was that? There was no gameplay there whatsoever.
No.
There was nothing there.
Which is why this thing makes it, this whole thing. They did actually saying that. They did that last time they announced the Xbox, didn't they? Where they were like, everything they did was controversial, and then Sony turned around and went, "We see all that over there?
Yeah.
We ain't doing none of that.
We're not doing that. We're going to do this.
We're going to do this." So same rules apply. I think they waited for this thing to come out and then turned around and said, all right, well, they did a gameplay, air quotes, gameplay inside. So PlayStation did a state of play.
Yes, they did.
And it was all gameplay.
Every single second of it.
So, but we'll come to that. I'm getting ahead of myself. They basically did a Unreal Engine released a test.
Yeah, it was a test version of their new Unreal Engine 5.
Unreal Engine 5. I'm a massive Unreal Engine fan. I mean, I've always banging on about the RE engine.
Yep.
I'd love to get my hands on that.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but our Unreal Engine 5 looks great, and they used it on the PlayStation 5.
They did, and it looks fantastic. I mean, I was almost thinking to myself, is this going to be like a secret trailer for like another game?
Right.
You know, I was saying to myself, is this secretly Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or something?
I was kind of hoping that would be a game. Like, I'm hoping that we actually
or some game at the end of it, because it looked so realized.
Yeah.
You know, all of the details that they went into. They went into talking about triangles down to the pixel. I mean, I'm not going to try and talk about it now because I'm just not.
Yeah. Just like static to me.
Yeah, I'm not that schooled, but it did look very, very detailed, and it just looked slick.
It was amazing, and I'm hoping that does become a game because it did look great. I mean, it's getting to a stage now where when the PlayStation 5 does come out,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to buy a 4K TV. You can't buy a PlayStation 5 and not have it realized, but that's big money, and they're apparently, you know, it's all over the news where they're saying they can't decide on the price. That's why they haven't announced it yet, because they reckon it's going to be £500. They're really struggling to keep the price down.
Right. Well, how much was the PlayStation 4 when it first dropped in its original form? I can't remember.
I think it's like 350, 400?
354, I would say.
But it's really getting to that stage where, you know, if you have that and you buy that for, say it's 500 quid, which is considered a lot for a console, right?
Yeah.
You're getting into like PC territory.
Yeah.
And then you buy yourself a $2,000. Yeah, it's a lot of money. I'm not saying you have to do it, but I'm just saying if you
want the full experience of what the PS5 has to offer, then you got to get yourself a
20 quid says Sony drops a 4K TV right as the PlayStation 5 comes out.
Do you reckon?
Do you know what I mean? Like, this comes out and he goes, why don't you buy the TV as well, you know? Like,
make it a bundle, innit?
Yeah. But the Unreal Engine does look amazing, and I really hope a lot of people jump on board. Like, if you imagine you seeing all your favorite games that have come out for that are on the Unreal Engine now, like Final Fantasy 7 Remake on the Unreal Engine 5.
Yep.
Dragon Quest, even Guilty Gear. Is huge. By the way,
oh yeah.
Moving on from that, Guilty Gear has been pushed to early 2021.
No.
Yeah, man.
Wasn't that supposed to be like the last quarter of this year?
Heartbroken. Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. They COVID.
Yeah, I mean,
they're saying it's just put the brakes on a little bit, and they are working on it, and they are working from home, but it's just really slowing down the state of play. So they're kind of going, we're going to push it to early 2021.
Do you know what? I'm fine with that. I mean, because I know. I mean, we played the test beta. Or what did they?
Yeah,
call
it was the closed beta.
Yeah, the closed beta. So we played that, and you know, I've got confidence in that game, even though I'm not a massive Guilty Gear fan, and people have been telling me for years, why aren't you playing Guilty Gear? I'm Street Fighter, but it does look very, very slick. It does look very, very good. It feels very, very good, and it is going to be better than Street Fighter 6.
I think. Oh, shots fired. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I mean, I love the look of it now. Yeah. But could you imagine, like, if they do? Because this will be out on the PS5 then, right? It has to be anyway.
Yeah.
And this is on Unreal Engine 4.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to see what happens when we see these games, because obviously I don't think anything's going to be made on it for a while. We probably won't see anything till the end of 2021 till the Unreal Engine 5 is actually used.
Yeah.
But I'm fascinated because, you know, I'm showing my age when I'm sitting there going, what more can they do? Like, how much further can we take it?
Yeah. How much more real can we handle?
Right, because it's getting photoreal now, and it's going to start looking like a window and not a TV. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be a weird one.
That's it, and you're kind of pushing on the boundaries of VR almost in a sense.
Well, that's the next thing. This Half-Life Alyx, and that's an interesting fact as well. Is they're saying, you know, Half-Life the Valve VR kit that you need or don't need, but you should have.
Yeah,
it's $1,000, right? So it's you know £900.
Right.
And there's such a small amount of people that are willing to, but there's not a lot of VR games out.
No.
And so
at least not a lot of notable ones anyway.
Right. And Half-Life Alyx does look like it's something of note to play, but it's not justifiable to pay £1,000 for one game.
No.
But I feel like if Unreal Engine 5 steps up and we start seeing more of that kind of thing, then there's going to be a sonic boom. If they can bring the price down of these VR kits, then it's going to be huge.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, so far to date, the only game I could say is notable for a VR set is Final Fantasy, is Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, man.
That's the only one I know of. And that's not even me having experience of it. It's just other people that I've spoken to that have bought the VR set and bought the game and have just said, wow.
Yeah.
You know, anything else, I couldn't tell you what other games are out there. Like, no one's speaking to me about
I don't
any
either.
Other
There are games out there, but I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting. Next on the list, we found a game.
Oh, yeah, we did.
On the PlayStation Store. It's on Steam as well.
Yep.
Called Hunt Down. If you are a fan
oh my God.
of 80s, 90s action nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is 8-bit heaven.
If you love all of that cheesy 80s style shoot 'em up action film, just cheese on toast violence. With
cheesy one-liners.
Cheesy one-liners, that's the word I was looking for. With cheesy one-liners to boot. This is your game.
Yeah, man.
This is definitely your game. You need to play this game.
So it's a platform game. It's a 2-player platform side scroller kind of.
Yep.
It's a platform game.
Yeah, it is a platform game.
It's a 2-player platform game. Incredibly well voice acted.
Yes.
Got some serious warrior vibes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you play as you have the option of 3 bounty hunters.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's kind of the whole thing is narrated by this 80s trailer guy, like voiceover, which is amazing. It's like, what's his name? Was it Hot Pepper? What's his name? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But yeah, so it's voiced over by him, and it's just hardcore to the bone. You know, one of the lines I remember is he's been a man since he was a boy.
He's been a man since he was a boy.
So. It's really, really fun.
And what was the other one? His blood type is AK-47. I mean, do you know what we should do?
The only bloody donates is other people's. That one.
Do you know what we should do for these guys? We should post a link to the trailer.
I'll put it up on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'll put it up to Sunday, and I'll put it up on Monday right after we've put this out.
Yeah.
We'll put up the link to the trailer, and I will put a picture of it up to remind you guys. But it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. I mean, the trailer is so much fun.
It's not an expensive game. I think it's like 15 quid.
Yeah, about that.
Pick it up. Really, really worth it so far. It's been a lot of fun to play.
It has.
It's just great, man. Again, it's like Streets of Rage. It's just made with love, and we saw like Akira posters in it, and
there's a few Easter eggs in there.
And they say like lines from all the movies that we know and love. So if you have time, it's definitely worth picking up.
Definitely, I agree.
As a reminder, Mortal Kombat Aftermath.
Ah, yes,
that's coming out on the 26th of May. Huge deal.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Getting your hands on that?
Getting my hands on that Fujin, boy. I'm all over it. I'm interested to see how Robocop plays. They did drop a gameplay trailer.
I did see that,
which was cool.
It was really good. It's weird because it looks a lot better than the Terminator gameplay.
It did, but then again, I'm always worried about big, heavy characters like Robocop and like robot characters being really clunky.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see if they actually make him, because he's got guns as well. Is he going to be zony?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting to see what the game he's going to play like, because Terminator was a little disappointing. So we'll see. Fujin looks great.
Fujin does look good.
Shiva, I'm not really interested in. I mean, she looks okay, but
apparently she's really fun to get to grips with.
Well, fingers crossed we'll get to have a crack. That looks really cool. I'm trying to think what else we got. So, next point.
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yes.
Amazon.
I've been hearing little tidbits about Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon are declaring war on the gaming industry, and I mean that in a positive way. They just want a piece of that pie.
Yep.
Bezos is getting involved. He wants in.
That guy's got too much money, so he might as well. Right?
Well, they've announced that he's going to be the first trillionaire ever.
That's crazy.
There was a mad thing about, I don't know what it was, but if I can't look, math isn't my thing, but like 180,000 a day from the day Jesus was born to now, you still wouldn't have the amount of money that Bezos has.
If you try to imagine that amount of money, like if you try to imagine yourself looking at that amount of money, you can't. You can't do it.
He's going to be the world's first trillionaire. I mean, that's insane.
That's just bonkers.
That's insane. And so he's decided to get involved.
Oh, okay.
He's got a couple of projects on the go. And the first one, which comes out this month on the 20th of May, is Crucible, which is kind of like their take on Apex. It's a third person, free to play, team based action shooter. From Amazon Games. It looks really good.
It does look like a lot of fun, actually.
Crucible. It does look really fun. It looks a little interesting. Not too far away from your average battle royale team-based shooter, but I'm gonna have a crack. It looks.
It does look quite inviting, and I do enjoy the fact that the way the textures and the colors work. It seems very similar to Apex in that respect. Apex had it down whereby it was just, it wasn't trying to be too serious of a shooter. It was for everybody, and
Apex is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and this game kind of feels like that. Crucible kind of, well, I mean, I haven't played it, but it looks like it would feel like that.
Yeah, I agree. But if you, like I said, it's free to play, so if you want to check it out, please do. That would be really cool, and obviously let us know.
Yeah.
New World, which is the next Amazon Games.
Oh yeah.
That's been pushed. That was supposed to come out in May.
Right.
New World is Amazon's attempt at an MMO, a massive online game.
Right.
And it's being pushed to the 25th of August. So not a small push.
Okay.
I mean, there's been controversy around this whole thing of them like their dev videos, their developer videos coming out and stuff. They're not showing much.
Right.
Or it's a bit like, well, what's the point of this? You're not really showing us any gameplay or any mechanics, and apparently lots of things have changed. But I'm sure there's COVID, the COVID stuff is getting involved, and they need to push it back till August.
Let me ask you, how do you feel about Amazon getting involved in the, in the gaming arena? Because to be honest with you, it could do with a bit of a shake-up.
It could do with a bit of a shake-up. I mean, PlayStation Sony are doing a really, really good job. Bless Xbox and Microsoft.
You've tried, guys.
I'm a PC fan. I have a PC. I love my PC, and I love the games I play on it. But when it comes to the console wars, I just sometimes just feel bad for Xbox, because I sometimes feel like the people that are running it just don't play games, or at least don't understand the mentality, especially when, it was a Max dude turned around and said it's Halo, or the YouTuber Maximilian dude turned around and said, hey, Halo or bust.
Yeah.
They don't have any games, man. And like, even on their exclusive list, there's very little. Whereas, PlayStation coming out the gate with the big boys, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be really tough for them. And I don't think people are going to actually jump ship and buy new consoles straight away, to be honest.
No, they're not. I mean, when you consider that, we are pretty much at the end of life for PS4, and we've got 3 big boy games, 3 big swan songs that are coming out at the end of life for this console.
And my back catalogue is large.
And
I mean, I'm not interested. I mean, I would rather go back and play the things I want to play that I've been meaning to play.
Yeah.
Rather than move forward. And like I said, that's not including the stuff on the PC. Stuff I'm trying to venture into. So yeah, but I'm glad they are getting involved. Hopefully they'll give it a better crack than Google.
Yeah. Shots fired.
Because, well, look, I was team.
You were on that hard.
I was team.
Like ketchup on chips. You were on that.
I'm Team Stadia. I was Team Stadia. I really believed in the tech. I really believed in what they were trying to achieve.
Bought that Founders Edition, bro.
Bought the Founders Edition, quick time, and played it whilst it was free.
Yeah,
the pro version when it was free, and unfortunately, it just didn't deliver. Like there were old games, nothing came right. I played Guilt, which was one of their unique ones, exclusive ones.
I mean, to be fair to it, sorry to cut you off, to be fair to Google Stadia, I mean, it did seem like a very cool idea. It did seem very slick because, you know, you were showing me how, you know, you get the app on your phone and then you just click and, you know, you're there to get the game, and then bang, it shows up on screen on your Stadia, and then instantly you're in there seconds later. Yeah. You know, with games like you were playing, Samurai Showdown and
Guilt. And what was the other one? Exodus. Oh, Metro Exodus.
Metro Exodus, yeah. So it seemed like a really fun idea. It did seem very, very cool, but
again, they just came. If they'd have just slapped, like a lot of people are saying it, if they'd have just slapped the word beta, on the front of it, and charged a little bit less,
all would have been forgiven.
Yeah, all would have been forgiven if they'd have just said, "Look, we're just trying to see out how this works."
Yeah.
And you can see they're gonna pull the plug, man. This is gonna end up in the Google graveyard. This is one of those.
Do you
things,
reckon?
Yeah,
because they've put a lot of money into this.
They have, but it's just not working. They've got no games coming out for it. No one really trusts it. And the way that they've handled the whole marketing campaign has just been a bit dog. It's a bit of a shame, really. I really, really wanted it to work.
You really did. I could see the pain in your eyes,
so
man.
Upset, man. It was the same, like even the video who've had a crack at it, they've had a lot of troubles where they've been putting stuff on their servers and then all the developers have pulled out.
Yeah.
But I hope Amazon comes in because they are limitless resources.
They are.
And they've seen the pitfalls that Google have made. Microsoft are on the horizon, and I think Microsoft can do some real damage with the streaming services.
You think so?
Yeah, man. And they've already got the infrastructure.
What's it? The smart delivery thing they've got?
Smart deliveries. Yeah. That's going from Xbox One to Xbox Series X for free, right?
Right.
But I think if they get into the streaming thing, I think they can do some real damage. Amazon are doing something called Project Tempo, is what it's called.
Yeah.
And they're gonna really do some damage with that. And I think they're gonna take it slow, see how it goes.
Yeah.
But again, I just want that to work. I really want to push that next step.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're away from hardware yet. We might be away from discs. I would love to step away from discs.
Yeah, I think discs are. It's not even slowly but surely. I mean, they're going to be on their way out. I think they're going to be.
Yeah, I mean, Xbox released one that didn't even have a disc drive, didn't it? Their Xbox One mini.
That's true. Yeah,
didn't have a disc drive.
That's true.
And most of the games that I buy now, I don't buy discs.
Yeah,
that's all from the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great idea, and hopefully that I would like that to be the future of it. The only problem you have taking away from that is you can't lend or borrow games.
Well, yeah.
Which is really sad because that was like a huge culture when we were kids, you know.
Yeah.
Trading cartridges, you stick a cartridge in your pocket, take it to your mate's house.
Yeah, it was a whole, subculture of the gaming world. That's how everybody got. Well, that's at least how half of people got into gaming.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like borrowing other people's games and consoles and shit like that, just taking it around your mate's house. It's a fun time.
Yeah, it was amazing. Did you watch? You watched State of Play, right? Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yeah, I watched State of Play.
And
been waiting for that for a minute.
I was dribbling. It was intense, man. Like it was one of those. Again, it was like this is going to be about gameplay, and all it was, beginning to end, was gameplay.
Pure, unadulterated gameplay.
Anybody in that video. There was no one sitting there looking at their webcams, chatting nonsense. Yeah. It was beginning to end.
No one trying to fake like they're actually gamers or they understand what's going on.
This is what it's going to look like.
Gameplay. Yeah. And it looked great.
Oh, man.
It looked so good.
Some heavy, some beautiful influences of games that we both love.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people were dropping the Breath of the Wild.
Oh really?
I've heard that come up a few times. Some serious Breath of the Wild vibes.
Yeah,
a couple Witcher vibes, which was me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I felt some Witcher vibes.
There's definitely some Witcher vibes in there.
But it looked great, man.
Yeah.
And again, with the little touches like the Kurosawa black and white.
Oh my gosh.
Samurai movie mode.
Yeah.
From the jump.
Yeah.
Subtitles.
I mean, you were saying that those guys like really paid attention to those old films.
Oh man, they did. Just looking at the film grain and you know, the kind of style that it has, it looks great. Just to even think of it.
Yeah. That is going to have a lot of people occupied for a long time. I think that game is just going to deliver. And I like the fact that, they broke the state of play up into sections and they were showing us bits on gameplay and, they gave us a little touch of special moves, but they didn't go into it too much.
No, they left enough to know that we could discover it by ourselves.
Yeah, and I really like that about it. Like, I love the fact that they've got so much faith in this game that they're just like, look, we'll just show you that little bit there, but don't worry. We know that you're going to come back. Yeah, we know you're going to
play it way more than we think you're going to play.
Yeah, so don't worry about it.
It was amazing. The idea of just being able to go, right, I want it to be in Japanese with subtitles in black and white, make it look like a Kurosawa movie.
Yeah.
And that if you want it to.
Yeah.
Before you've even pushed start. Before you've even seen the first frame.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't charge for it. That's huge.
Yeah, true. Good point.
I'm so happy they didn't go, if you want this black and white, vintage samurai movie mode, that's like £2.50. They didn't do that. They were just like, this is what you get, and you get to choose it. And they actually did the whole thing in Japanese, which was really nice.
They did. And one thing that I really liked as well is that they specifically said, look, because they showed that section where you roll up to the camp.
Oh yeah, as the ghost or the samurai. Yeah,
they're like, look, you can just roll up as a samurai, or you can roll up as a ghost. And I was like, that's me all over. I'm stealth boy. No. I love that shit.
I'm the total opposite. I'm team bring it on. I'm walking through the front door.
I'm slitting your throat from behind your back. I'm sorry, man. That's how I roll in the moonlight. Just no one seeing me.
Yeah, I like walking through the door and just shouting my name, seeing who wants to step up first. I'm all about it. No, it looks great, and I think they really did a good job just showing us just the gameplay.
Yeah.
Just there's no nonsense. It was really great.
Really, really nice.
There's not going to be any real reveals now till I think it's June 6th is the next one we can expect to see anything from Sony.
Right.
But that should be good. Wow, that we went ham on that, if you didn't already know.
Did we?
Yeah.
Like, how much have we gone ham on that?
There's like 20 minutes worth if you didn't already know.
Oh, wow. Jesus. All right, we better condense this into 10.
10.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's hit it hard.
I started, as you know, I'm a massive... Well, no, let me change this.
All right.
As you know, I'm a Japanese JRPG fan.
You are?
I love me some JRPG. But there has been one JRPG I've kind of steered away from, and everyone's like, this is one of the big megastar JRPGs. And I just always, maybe I was just intimidated by it, I don't know. But I stepped into the Dragon Quest world.
Oh, yes, Dragon Quest.
Yeah, and Dragon Quest 11. No previous knowledge of this game. And so far, I am absolutely loving it. It's a lot of fun. There's so much content. You can see they put a lot of love into it.
Right.
It's respected its past by keeping certain sound effects and the music and the style. I love how vibrant and colorful it is. The animations are great. The monsters are incredible. It's really, really good. And I'm actually really enjoying the story as well. It's one of those classic, good versus evil. An ordinary kid from a small village secretly has some mad power.
But does it measure up to Final Fantasy though, bro?
Oh, I can't. I can't. Equally but differently. You know what I mean? Like, I love them equally but differently. I've played most of the Final Fantasy, so it's hard to say. I feel like. It's because it's Square Enix as well, right? Like, it's kind of interesting. But there's a lot of things they could take from this and do something amazing in the next Final Fantasy.
Right.
But the thing that I found really, really interesting is the music.
Oh, yeah?
With the music in this game, it's classic, right? So I recognize the main theme.
Yeah.
But as you're walking through what would be the world map, kind of the grind areas of the map, and certain areas, there were clear. Okay, this is a town. This is the country. This is a tense moment. This is a battle. This is a boss.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And obviously, you're going through towns and locations that have clear cultural. They like, for example, there's a place called Gondolia.
Right.
And Gondolia is clearly Venice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
it's gondola, right?
Yeah, of course.
And you think, okay, and they even have the characters have Italian accents. They speak in little words in Italian.
Oh, nice.
It's really cool. But the music it's just generic town music number 2.
Right, I see.
Which I thought was really interesting. It was a really interesting take. I get it if they're like I said, I'm coming from it as a newcomer, so I'm just seeing this quite maybe this is how they do things, but I was just more interested in the idea of them making a decision not to have music that is relevant to the town, like to give it atmosphere, to have Italian inspired music that represents the area, would be really, really interesting and give you that kind of atmosphere. But they don't, and they have this quite, the regular town music you would hear from 2 towns ago.
Okay.
And there was another town called Gallopolis, which is very kind of Egyptian. It's Egyptian, right? They worship horses, and if you walk up, there's clear kind of the Egyptian people with the horse's head. But again, there was and it's in the desert. But again, there was very little influence in terms of the music.
Interesting.
They didn't choose to go culturally with the music that would be relevant to the areas that you're in. They just kind of used the generic music that they already
because
had.
that was going to be my question. They've obviously taken steps to research the things that they're taking influences from in terms of, visual and, locality, like world in a sense. But why not the music?
Why not the music? And this is where what I was getting to is the importance of music in video games. And the idea of when you're playing a game, how important is the music to you?
Ooh.
Or how much do you notice it? Are you playing a game and if the story's incredible, yada, 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 you don't mind if the music is either off or doesn't quite fit the tone, but you're happy? Or is it something where you're like, I need this to work, I notice the music?
Right. That's an interesting question, actually, because I've never really thought about this before, but I suppose that in playing the games that I have played, the music that has been laid over certain areas or even certain battles have made those experiences that much more intense in a way.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm sorry I'm going to use this game again, but Final Fantasy VII, when you're, the original one with the in 1997.
Yeah.
When you go into battle, the screen sort of changes, goes, and right, okay, fine, right, I need to get ready now, I'm about to battle.
Yeah, for me, the Final Fantasy thing was the that for me was when I was like, okay, I'm in. I started cracking knuckles and going right. Oh, that was just such a tune. Anyway, sorry, go on.
But yeah, I can't think of another example right now. But yeah, those pieces of music, I think they help in sort of completing the game experience. At least for me, anyway. I don't know. But
do you think in your gaming career?
Yeah.
If you think of like the games that you remember now, that even in games you haven't played in 15, 20 years, that you play Sonic and you instantly know the Green Hills zone.
Yeah, Green Hills zone.
What was it? It's the what was the chemical zone, the chemical plant?
Yep, chemical plant zone.
I think that was the that stuff. Yeah. And we all like going.
Yeah, no,
but
I feel you.
We know that stuff. Like, it's really important, and it's the same with Donkey Kong. We all know the underwater levels of Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
The theme of Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Country, I should say. I find that music is really important, and you look at
I think so.
Newer games now, like even on the indie level, like Bastion, Transistor. These are Supergiant games. Like, they're all great music, and me personally, Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, are hands down some of the most beautiful music I've ever heard in a video game, and they make the experience 10 times better than if it wasn't there. Not to say that it's a bad game. Like, it's still an incredible game to play.
Yeah.
But
it just adds something to
the water.
it.
Yeah, exactly. When you're outrunning the water and this swell of music comes up and it's really fast paced and your heart starts going.
Yeah.
I was cussing. I was cussing like you wouldn't believe. It was one of those things where it's so tense, but you love the music, but it's so hard and there's too much pressure.
Yeah. But I love that music can do that
exactly.
in the gaming environment. I love that the fact that it just wants to make you sort of just knuckle down and just feel what you're experiencing and just just get through it. Well, not just get through it, but you just want to play it to just feel everything. You want to do everything you can to kind of navigate this situation, and the music is almost propelling you in a way to do that.
But it's the same, look at movies, it's the same thing, right?
Movies is exactly the same thing.
We all remember themes of certain things. I mean, there are, you look at a lot of films and you wouldn't be able to tell me what the theme is. But the ones that do have themes, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, John Williams, anything, Hans Zimmer, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
You recognize that music and you get an emotional reaction.
You do.
So I'm just thinking in games, is there any music to you that you felt would change the feel of the game if it didn't have the music? Or is there, or aside from that, is there any games you go, look, that music was...
Here's the interesting thing about that. I can remember music from certain games, right? But a lot of the other games that I've played, I don't remember the music to. But like you were just saying a little while ago, that doesn't mean to say that they were bad games. It's just that the music was probably nondescript.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah.
And then, it's no bad word on the composers or anything like that. But it's like you say, we all know music from Donkey Kong. We know the music from Mario. We know the music from Sonic the Hedgehog, Final Fantasy, Golden Axe, Altered Beast.
Yeah.
We know those pieces of music. But I couldn't, for example, Shadow Dancer is one of my favorite retro games of all time. I don't know what the music was.
Really?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't begin to hum one note of what the music was. I couldn't.
But if it wasn't in the game as you played it, it wouldn't feel right. Or if it was different, if the music wasn't what it is.
If the music wasn't what it was, if it was different, in some way, then I would have
noticed.
But for the life of me, I'm trying to think of it now while I'm talking to you. What was the music in Shadow Dancer? I don't know.
Well, it's the same as, Uncharted is a perfect example, as I know the theme song, but I couldn't tell you a single...
Was there a theme song?
Yeah.
Yeah. That game was so cinematic and action-packed, like...
But there's no point in throughout that where you're like, oh, this is the theme tune.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, of course.
Right? You know it. When you hear it, you're like, oh, that's the Uncharted theme song.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bury its way into the back of your head.
It doesn't, no.
Right? There's none of that.
What is that?
Because I think they're not... maybe not a lot of focus is put on it from a directing... I'm sure the composers put a lot of love into it. But maybe from a director's standpoint... you don't recognize it. It's the same. There was actually a really fascinating YouTube video that I watched years ago about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the music from it. Nowadays we know because Endgame and Infinity War are out, but back then they went around into the streets of wherever they were, and they said, "Sing the tune to Star Wars," and everyone's like, "Yeah," and everyone did it. And it's like, "Okay, Indiana Jones," and everyone did it. Okay, right, James Bond, everyone did it, right?
Yeah.
And now they go, right, now sing me a tune from a Marvel film. Crickets. Right? No one could do it. No one could do it. I don't know the Iron Man theme.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think I could maybe get away with the Captain America theme, but bearing in mind this was right after I think Age of Ultron.
Right.
So you don't know the Ant-Man theme. You don't know Iron Man.
I think the only theme I know out of those 20 plus films is the Avengers.
It's the Avengers. But back then, even then, people were like, after Age of Ultron, I don't think we would have known what the theme song was. It's only after we've seen it 4 times, 2 more times after that they started putting this stuff in.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that themes have kind of gone away a little bit in a lot of movies.
So do we feel that in general...
I don't know why that was relevant. It just seemed like a really interesting fact.
Well, do we feel that... is music a secondary thought to these things in a sense that...
Maybe.
You go through the process of making the film, you go through the process of making the game. It's just like, right, I've got all of these. Oh shit, I need music, don't I? Bob, come over here for a sec. Just
bang something. Well, no, normally
you got your Casio on you, yeah? Yeah, just sort something out.
Yeah, Casio, I think what's interesting is a lot of the time they use temp music from other movies.
Right.
And then the poor composer then has to make something very similar to what was used in the temp track.
Oh, right, of
As
course.
opposed to, here's the movie, make something for it.
Right.
But in games, I mean, you have no idea when the game's coming out, so you got to come up with something.
Yeah.
And back in the day when you didn't have a lot of space on a cartridge, and
True.
Donkey Kong was still banging out beats. There was, to this day, I mean, we saw, perfect example, and if you haven't seen this movie, go and watch it, because I loved it. It was Sonic the Hedgehog. That film was so ridiculous that I watched it again.
It was so crazy. It shouldn't have worked, but it
should have
did.
worked. Jim Carrey was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And
I feel like they just told him to walk on set and just said,
do whatever you want,
bruv, do you, innit?
Well, I did see an interview.
He was like, somebody stop me.
There was a scene in it that's really great where he's dancing whilst he's waiting for something to I don't know, measure or whatever.
Yeah.
And you remember the way he's dancing?
I remember that scene, yeah.
And I watched an interview with him, and they said, all right, so what did they do? Did they choreograph it? And now they just showed me the space and went go mad. And he did. That was it. He just went mad. And it was so good. But they used the Green Hills theme in it.
Yes, they did.
But the one thing that I was hoping for, and maybe if there's a sequel, God, I hope there's a sequel.
Okay, careful of spoilers.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's a sequel. Is one of the greatest boss musics of all time.
Yes.
With Sonic 2, Dr. Robotnik. Right. If you haven't heard that, just go into YouTube, Sonic 2.
Yeah.
Dr. Robotnik's theme. I mean, it is...
Or just go play Sonic 2 again.
Play Sonic 2. Yeah. Oh, man.
You ain't going to work. We're in lockdown.
Yeah, where you going?
We got to do, innit?
It's, the reason that stuck in my mind wasn't because of how good the mechanics were when I was fighting Dr. Robotnik. It wasn't like how cool the game looked. The reason that I remember that so fondly is because the music was on point.
It was.
And it just worked. And I feel like that's a case for a lot of things where I remember the music. And I think Final Fantasy VII, we keep coming back to it. The music is so spectacular that, there's huge sections of the game I don't remember. But when I go over it again, I can, and I've not heard the music for a long time. I can sing it note for note.
Yeah.
I can hum along note for note.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing how that buries itself into your head and makes the game better.
It does. It really does. I mean, going back to what I was saying, it just makes it completes the experience. You feel like, I've really played and got involved in something here, and I can take away from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's going to be in my memory for forever now, you know what I mean? I mean, look at me now. I'm like in my 40s and I'm still talking about Sonic the Hedgehog music or flipping, Altered Beast music. It's because, like we were saying, those things, they Velcro to you. They Velcro into your memory, man.
Yeah, I was on the train before the lockdown, and someone had the Final Fantasy fanfare as their message tone.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Man, that guy was a hero.
I mean, if we weren't under restriction, I would have gotten up and shook his hand.
I'd just been like, crisp high five. Nowadays, you can't be doing that. But it's, music is such an important part. And I was just trying to think back on music that I love from classic games, but I just keep coming back to the Dr. Robotnik thing. But I really wanted to talk to you about that and just feel like, what does it mean to you? And what game do you remember? What is your favorite game, or musically, that makes you feel that way?
Oh, my favorite game musically. I mean, the ones that I keep coming back to. Mario 1 is a staple.
Yeah, that's a classic.
That's a classic. Mario 3, for some reason, there was something about that. It was the first stage. I can't remember what the stage was. And now I'm going to blank on the music as well, so I won't try.
I don't know any music from that. The only one I remember from other than the theme is, I bet this isn't even Mario. I'm about to do it. That digga.
Yeah, that's Mario. That's down in the that's when you do the warp zone. Yeah, that's when you go down into the warp zone. And
I think I've added things to that because
for
some reason I hear a jazz
turn
beat.
Blue.
But is that all the walls turn blue?
Yeah. So when you dive down into the warp zone, if I remember rightly, the bricks are blue, and it's only the boxes that are orange. And then
I'm just glad it's it was right. It was Mario.
You watch, someone's gonna flip in, comment us and say, actually, it was Zoom. It was not Zoom. Zool.
I don't know what that is.
That was the okay. Little tangent here, but I think shortly after the first Sonic, or around about the same time as Sonic, there was this little ant creature that popped up on I think may have been the Amiga,
Really?
Yeah, and he was called Zool or Zoom. Someone might need to correct me on this on the comments. But yeah, he was just a super fast.
Your phone is gonna blow up from your
I
brothers,
know, right? But he was a super fast ninja ant. You know, he was just a little.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, he was a little ant that had he had like a red bandana, not unlike Raphael from TMNT, and I believe he had glowing green batons or something like that, and he just used to zip around. I mean, I never played this game. It looked interesting, but I thought, no, I'm on Sonic, bruv.
So yeah, it was the same with like Jazzy Jackrabbit and all those ones.
Yeah.
But I just remember very key points in Mario was like selecting your character,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, really cool. And I was like, I said, listen to that.
I mean, full confession, right? I mean, like, I'm gonna share a little piece with you. I'm gonna share a little bit of me with you right now, right?
Cool.
But when I was in school,
I feel like I should put sad music behind this.
You probably should. Me and my friend Ben, his name was, we were just all over, you know, our retro games. Like, obviously at the time it wasn't retro, so Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, yada yada yada. And he was so enamored by game music that what this guy did with his Mega Drive, he got audio in, audio out.
Yeah.
Plugged it into the back of his Mega Drive, plugged the other end into a tape deck.
Oh wow!
And recorded background music.
That's hard.
From Alex Kidd, from Sonic, from Altered Beast, from Golden Axe, from Mickey Mouse World of Illusion, which was a great game.
That was a great game.
That was an awesome game.
Wow, there's a blast from the past.
Yeah, and I remember the music to that as well. But he taped these things.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and
I didn't even know you could do that.
And yeah, he's playing this thing for his headphones. Oh, let me listen. I'm listening to it, and I was like, bro, can I get a copy of that?
Oh, you were? So you got it yourself?
I got it myself, mate. Like, I never told anyone that, but I used to travel on the bus to school, headphones in, and I'm listening to flipping game music from the Mega Drive.
But I do that. I mean, now it's amazing because all those games are up, all the music is up on Spotify for all the PlayStation games. And stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get like orchestral versions of it now.
Yeah.
And you can, I sit and listen to all sorts of scores and film scores, and but it's interesting that that's the things you can do passively, and you'd want to do passively.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was super interesting.
Yeah, it's really, really cool, man. So, I mean, there is something to be said for game music, for good game music. That that kind of music that just kind of sticks to you. Yeah,
there isn't a huge amount now. I mean, like I said,
no, I feel as though each of them kind of bleed into each other in a sense, because everything is trying to be so epic and just
cinematic. It's kind of bleed into the movie world.
Yeah, so every other game that comes out has got like a Hans Zimmer like score or a or a so and so score, and it's just
Hans Zimmer actually did the score, or
or something like that. So in a sense, and it's sad for me to say this, but it's going to turn into, you used this reference earlier, generic background music number 2.
Yeah,
because we're so saturated with it now.
I just think now's the time we notice more than ever. Like I feel like people will notice now. We're spoiled for quality in gaming, and people will notice if you try to get away with I'll just put that music over it. People will notice, and we expect a little more, and especially when you're using like looping types of music, especially if you're spending a lot of time in a town in a game, in a JRPG or in a regular whatever, and the music loops every however many seconds. I mean, Ni no Kuni 2 is a perfect example of somewhere where you're in this like Vegas type character area, and the music loops to the point where it's bordering on torture.
Oh no.
I really enjoy the game. No. Please don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there's just the choice of music for this area just keeps going round and round, and you spend a lot of time there because you're trying to do missions and stuff.
Did it alter your experience for you?
It did. What's funny is anyone that sat and played it with me, or backseat gamed, it's like, good God, like, can you turn that down? Or it gets to a point where it's just like you're walking around, or you're walking in the kitchen going, and it just goes round and round and round, and you're just like, I can't. That's interesting, and I just feel like now games are evolving so much that you can't really get away with looping, or obviously you need to loop it because God knows how long you're going to be in that town. But do it in a way that's different. I never felt like with Final Fantasy.
I was just thinking of that actually. I was just thinking of Cosmo Canyon. It was looping in my head.
Yeah, it's true actually.
But that's my favorite piece of music out of that game.
That's a good bit of music.
It's awesome. Like I can't get enough of Cosmo Canyon music, man.
Yeah, that's true. Wow, yeah, that's true. That did loop a lot, but I actually enjoyed that. I had no problem with that.
Somehow they knew, even though it looped in quick succession, they knew what they were doing with that music. I couldn't explain it to you, but it just worked.
Yeah, it did. I like it. Like I love the games I'm playing. I'm not slanting. Not slanting at all. It's just interesting that's like whether they've decided not to put any. Not effort, but they've decided not to put music that is relevant to the area you're in,
right?
Or not to get too creative with the length of the track, and just have it loop. And I feel like nowadays it's getting harder and harder to get away with that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a shame because I feel like theme songs, we're forgetting them. Like you know, we have the one classic theme, and most of them are from like the old days. You know, Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
Is from the old days. In Final Fantasy, that do like that's because it's old and we know it. Creating new themes now, is that even possible? Like
it must be hard on them, to be fair, man. I mean, it's a job in and of itself anyway, but to try and create something in a world past and present of themes, and still try and make it sound different. That's gotta be a lot of work. And
I'm sure, and I can't help but feel like every composer must be trying to make a theme that sticks, right?
Yeah, and they're trying to put their own signature on it as well, and just make it something that's for them, but also more times something that's for the game,
Yeah,
and for us by proxy,
that's true.
But it's got to be hard for them, and I mean I don't envy them. I respect those guys a hell of a lot for doing that job.
It's hard to make things original now.
But it's hard to make things original.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
Well, if anyone has any music they think they love and we've left out of this, please hit us up in the comments.
Yeah, please hit us up in the comments wherever you find us on Castbox, or does Spotify do comments?
Spotify don't do comments, but you can feel free to leave us a review on iTunes.
Yeah.
Follow us on Spotify.
Yes.
And download the track. That would be amazing. We are on Instagram at tonesandthebiz, and we are on Twitter at tonesandthebiz. So please hit us up with some comments and
please
let us know if we missed any major music or anything that you want us to listen to and or play.
Absolutely.
Because I am all in right now for playing some new games. I'm going through that kind of mad Steam sale stuff. I need to stop, man. It's becoming a really bad addiction. Like, that's cheap. Man. I'll play this. I'm telling them my retirement games.
Oh, man. Just stocking,
like, 35 years from now, I can start playing them.
Fantastic.
So you know what time it is?
What time is it?
Right.
Oh, wow. It's that time again.
It's that time again, man.
I forgot about that time.
We hit that time once a week. Ooh, happy hour at the Jazz Barcade.
Oh, do you know what? I feel like we need to reverse this now because...
really?
Yeah, because, you've been asking me,
Are you want to do 2 for 2?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
2 for 2. So let me think here. All right. So, okay, picture the setting.
The piano's playing. Bar's clean.
Bar is very, very clean. You got the barman behind the bar. He's doing his thing. He's cleaning the glasses. And who walks into the bar? None other than Blaze.
Blaze. Streets of Rage Blaze.
Blaze. She sits down. Says, bartender,
what is she gonna order? Nah, see, she's tough.
She's a tough cookie.
She's a tough gal, and so it's gonna be on the thing. She's tough. She's a fighter. She's quite rock and roll. I think I don't want to be boring, but I feel like
go on, hit us.
It's one of them whiskey neats.
You reckon?
Yeah, man, something like that. She's quite hardcore.
Actually, yeah, she's got that kind of feel, isn't she?
Isn't it? Like it's one of those things. She's definitely not a cocktail girl.
Nah.
No way.
Nah. She's not fussy like that.
She's not fussed. No, but she's not interested in the sweet or the sour or the whatever. She wants something that's gonna get the job done. So I feel like whiskey neat.
Yeah.
Some top shelf.
Yeah. I'm down with that.
Something like that. Or tequila. Tequila's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Tequila's a good one. Yeah, I feel whiskey.
Yeah, I kind of feel that. She wants to just, after she's been cleaning up the streets for...
Because I don't see her coming back. And do you know what? Grabbing a beer wouldn't be unreasonable either.
No.
Grabbing a beer wouldn't be unreasonable either.
Well, I mean, she could do it like they do it in The Wire. Bunker McNulty, beer and a shot.
Beer and a shot.
Beer and a shot.
That's
Why
it.
not?
There you go. You've already helped me answer that one as well. You're 3 for 3. You're 3 for 3. So yeah, she walks
Get good at this.
She gets herself a nice beer, and then she shoots it with a bit of whiskey.
Done.
I'm wrapped with that.
I might do that like after this. I swear.
And that's it. That's all we've got
it,
time for
guys.
this week. Thank you so much for coming down. We always appreciate it. Please feel free to leave us reviews on iTunes. We are on Spotify and on Castbox. Unfortunately, we won't be on SoundCloud anymore.
No, we won't.
But we will be on Spotify, Castbox, and iTunes.
Yes.
Hit us up on Instagram at tonesandthebiz and Twitter at tonesandthebiz. Leave us reviews and any suggestions that you may have. We appreciate it.
We really do, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening and, making us part of your day, part of your morning.
That's it. And also, if you have any Happy Hour at the Jazz Barcade characters you would like us to tell you what they think we think they'll be drinking, please let us know.
Oh, yeah.
Be great.
That would be a lot of fun, actually. You guys should definitely get involved in this.
Yeah, so hit us up. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening, and we will speak to you again next week.
Rock and roll, guys. Take care.
See ya.
Peace.